Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Gashagua TV. Fred Okengo Matiangi is confronted by a situation where he has to make a major decision. Going forward, the former powerful CS in Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's government must either form a political party, join an existing political party like the Jubilee, or actually join a regional party from the Omogosi community. Ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gashagua want Matiangi to contest with a regional Wusi-based political party. He does not want Matiangi to use the Jubilee party. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you, if you are Fred Okengo Matiangi and Jubilee is here, and other regional parties are here, and you have that option of even forming a new political party, how would you go to the 2027 general election and vie for the presidency? How would you approach the election? I don't know whether you have noted that Jeremiah Kioni is now really seen with Fred Okengo Matiangi. He's really seen in Kalonzo Musyoka's team and Gashagua's team. He is nowhere to be seen. And this one tells you something. There is a problem in the opposition. Matiangi has caused ripples in the opposition. And I want us to look at the reason why Fred Okengo Matiangi is causing these ripples. And the reason why Rigathi Gachagua wants Matiangi to form or to have a Kisii-based political party. Because when you look at Fred Okengo Matiangi has a national appeal. And telling him to form a regional party raises many questions. And those are the reasons that I want us to look, ladies and gentlemen. Number one, why Gashagua wants Matiangi to go to Kisii and start a political party is because of being actually made irrelevant by Fred Okengo Matiangi. If Matiangi is going to use Jubilee, you agree with me, Gashagua DCP party may not take roots as he would want. If Okengo Matiangi will be embraced by the Mount Kenya people, it means that Gashagua will be rendered irrelevant. That is the fear in Rigathi Gachagua. And one thing I know is that, I've been talking to the crowd, and I've also been listening to the crowd from Mulima Nation. And I can tell you, Mulima is for Fred Okengo Matiangi. And, Gachagua is somebody who listens to the crowd. And Gachagua understands very clearly that the Mulima Nation want Fred Okengo Matiangi. And by having Jubilee, there is also the issue of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta with his money, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta with the influence, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta with his network, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta with his closeness with Matiangi. Gashagua is a worried man. When you look at it, you realize that Gashagua wants to be actually the regional kingpin of the mountain. But now when Okengo Matiangi comes with the backing of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, you agree with me that he will have nowhere actually to lean on. He will have nowhere to say that this is my support base. So what Gashagua want? Gashagua want regional alliances, like what they are doing with Eugene Wamalwa, what they are doing with Kalonzo Musyoka, Natebea, and then he's coming with his bloc. So you want these people to come with regional blocks or regional alliances. It can work. But for Matiangi, I think with his goodwill, with his national appeal, I think he should not buy Rigathi Gachagua's idea. The other reason, if you ask me, politics is about power. It's about winning power. And what Rigathi is doing here, he wants to weaken Fred Okengo Matiangi. So if he buys the idea of Rigathi Gachagua, he will be strongly weakened. He will be a weakened candidate. He will appear as a regional leader. Is that what Matiangi wants? I doubt. So when you look at Gashagua Gashagua, by strategically coming out and telling Matiangi, you need to go to Omogusi and come with a Kisii-based party, it tells you that there's more than meets the eye. There is also the clashing political ambitions. Actually, the ambitions are clashing. I'm saying this because there is a future for Gashagua and there is a future for Fred Okengo Matiangi. It is not just about political parties. It has to go with what does Matiangi want. Matiangi wants to unite the country. Matiangi wants votes from all corners. And what I know, if you ask the people of Mount Kenya, you put Gashagua here and you put Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta here, and both of them gives advice. Mount Kenya, Mulima Nation is going to reason to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. You know, there are some people these days who say that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is a prophet. He was used to tell us to vote for Raila Amolo Odinga. We ignored, and now we are crying in the toilets. So most likely, people are likely to listen to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's advice. And I know one thing: if you give Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka here, put Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka here, and Fred Okengo Matiangi here, you ask Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to vote for one, he's going to vote for Fred Okengo Matiangi. And this is the fear that Gashagua has. And you know, the Kenyatta family, its wealth, its influence, and its network. Gashagua has all the reason to get worried. There is also the issue of Kalonzo factor. Kalonzo has been coming to the mountain. Kalonzo has been a dominant figure in the mountain. And Kalonzo is very, very close to Matiangi. Kalonzo is very close to Gashagua. Compared to Kalonzo and Matiangi and Gashagua. In fact, Gashagua and Kalonzo are buddies. The fact that they are also very close as far as it is concerned, the fact that they have been seen many times together tells a story. And when you tell Matiangi to have a regional party, I think you are spoiling for Matiangi. And what Matiangi needs to do is to do what he thinks is going to deliver. Because in the fullness of time, if the opposition is not careful, it is going to disintegrate. And if the Mulima Nation will be divided, because what I know and I've been telling Kenyans, it is the Mulima Nation that will decide who will be the next president. Where Mulima goes, that is where the president will be. Currently, as I listen to the ground, Mulima is with Fred Okengo Matiangi. Okay, they are very happy with Rigathi Gachagua. They are listening to Rigathi Gachagua. I don't want to underrate the work of Rigathi Gachagua. But from where I sit, I can tell you, and I think this is what Gachagua is seeing, and that is this is what he is fearing, that in future, if Matiangi is going to form a government with the Jubilee, I think Gachagua will have problems. And this is the fear. And again, if he becomes the president, supposing he becomes the president at the Jubilee, I don't know how he's going to treat the DCP party. What I know is that DCP party is likely to have some members of parliament, governors, and so on and so forth. The same case applies to Jubilee. Because I think what Matiangi should do, take Jubilee, rebrand it, and maybe give it a new name. Hapa weka madoido pale ionekane the same Jubilee, but with a slightly different name. And this way, he can actually win the elections. But now, when it comes to competition on the ground, you know, both parties want to have members of parliament. Both parties want to have governors, and so on and so forth. So that competition is likely to bring conflict on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my take. I don't know what you think, but from where I sit, there's a problem when it comes to this leader. I told you the other day that according to me, given the chance, Gashagua would prefer Kalonzo Musyoka. The way I see it, I could be right, I could be wrong. But Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and the ground are for Matiangi. Who is going to have the last laugh? Ladies and gentlemen, have a blessed day. Like this video, share, and leave a comment. Bye-bye.